So today's topic is regarding what are tools that is still available that you can leverage or utilize before Prime Day to help you elevate your brand success. All right. So what I'm going to share later will be very interesting for brand owners. Right. Some important notice. Okay, for those of you who have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, once again, just want to call out again that you can actually subscribe. We have a YouTube official channel where I will share all the recording after the session. So for the Q&A segment, it will not be shared. So just to be fair to all of you who share your time with me here. All right, so the content itself will be available on YouTube to be able to let you play back and watch it anytime. All right, so if you have any question, let me know in the Q&A box. All right, I think it might be black color, the question box. All right, this is the OUI. Last but not least, since there is a recording, so if you're watching this a couple months down the road, do always make sure that you go and look for the latest information, my latest video, or you can refer to the online resource like the Seller University or Seller Central Help. So this is the team I'm in, the seller education team. Just to share again, it's a new team that we started out last year to help to provide, create learning programs for seller across a different journey of their selling on Amazon journey for new, existing seller or even aspiring sellers. Right. So one of the information that you can get a lot from is Seller University. We have short videos, learning PDF that you can download right in the Seller Central. And the other one will be the one that you are watching right now, which is a live webinar. You get to interact with the speakers. And sometimes I do also invite external speakers to share their area of expertise, as well as some other Amazonian, like the account managers, etc., or even program managers to attend the live webinar. So you get to answer, you get to ask your question in the live box. And I guess that's where the real value is, right? So I hope you are ready to build your brand and continue to grow your business using some of the important tools that I'm going to share. Right, these are the three things I'm going to cover today: the Amazon Brand Analytics, Amazon Vine, and also the MYE to manage your experience. So first of all, have you ever experienced some of this following issue? Things like you're unable to find your niche if you're already selling, you're trying to explore into the other category or other product ASIN, what kind of products to sell, etc. There's actually a tools inside where we call the ABA, Amazon Brand Analytics, right, to actually give you insights into those questions that you might have. First of all, what is this brand analytics, right? This is essentially, I would say, it's one of the feature on Seller Central that you can get relevant reports to understand your customers' behavior, right, and how your brand products are performing. All right, to help you improve your operation, etc. So there is a lot of useful reports over here, at least six of it. Search terms, repeated purchase, market basket analysis, etc., which I'll share with you in the next few slides. Right, to use this, you must be selling in one of these stores, which I believe most of you are selling into like US, Canada, etc., right? So it will be applicable for you. And of course, you have to be a brand owner. All right. So if you are not a brand owner, for those of you who may have chance upon this webinar, to be a brand owner, you need to have a trademark, a registered trademark, right? And then use that to enroll into Amazon Brand Registry, which will then given you the brand owner role, right? So that you can actually access to all these brand building tools. Or this is where you can go to the brand analytics feature. Is usually under the brand section on the navigations. All right. So I'm going to go through some of this report that you can use it. All right. First of all, the Amazon search terms report. Right. This one you can use it to find the most popular search terms in the Amazon store. Right. You can evaluate the search term frequency and the top three product, etc. So you can actually do some calculations to get the click share and also the conversion share. All right, I won't touch on too much on this formula. You can actually go through it, but essentially to know, how's your brand perception across the other brands. All right. So the other one, or rather another use case you can use this search term report is to monitor your search ranking, right? You can export the data and then observe the change in your search terms ranking across the time. So how you can use this tool is, let's say if your ranking drops significantly, you can consider some some move that you can do, such as reducing, ads investment or replacing search term with the popular search term. Right, this helps you to continuously optimize your search terms. Right, the other use case you can use is to help you to do your product selection or planning. Right, you can use the this search terms report, right, to narrow down or find popular subcategory terms, right, to help you, find out what other kind of a category that will actually help you tap into and get a new ASIN launch. So the other report, which is the repeated purchase behavior, this is like the name says, allow you to analyze your customer retention, the repeat purchase patterns, whether is it by the brand or by the ASIN over a specific period of time. So you can use this to help you improve your listing. Some available, some suggestions here is that you can use it to advertise products with a repurchase rate that is higher than your brand's repurchase rate. All right, so use it to improve your listing if you see that the repurchase rate is actually lower than the brand's repurchase rate. All right, the next one you can use is the market basket analysis report. All right, so this will give you the insights on the product that are most frequently purchased together, help you to find ways that you can bundle your product effectively for any possible cross-sell opportunity. Right? So this will be really useful, or if you have multiple product that you are selling, or you can create like a virtual bundle based on the reports here. Right, the other one, the demographic report, last I checked is only for the seller who are selling to the US store only. All right, so you can actually see things or rather information such as the age, household income, education, gender, etc., right, among your customers. Right, so this eventually will help you improve your targeting strategies, right? Based on the different kind of the demographics that you get, you might want to customize your different targeting strategies. Or the other one you can use in the brand analytics is the search query performance report. Right, with this you can either look at the ASIN view, all right, or the brand views, if I'm not wrong, or the ASIN view, all right. So there's a lot of metrics here, things like the total number of impression, the clicks are, how many of those products are added to cart, etc. Right, and then the purchase count, total sales. All right, some use case here. Of course, mainly this will help you improve your listing as well as the discoverability of your product. All right, some suggestions here that you can consider. Things like if you see the click-through rates continue to decline, you can start investigating what could be the reason on why customers aren't visiting your detail page. Could it be the main image that is not attractive enough, etc., or whether your title is not well optimized with the right keyword, etc. Yes, the other one is the brand view. All right, so the search query performance report has one, which is the ASIN view on the ASIN level. The other one is the brand view on the brand level. Right, it's essentially the same, just that slightly different use case that you can think of. Right. So these are the use case for using this brand view search query performance report. All right, this will help you expand your search terms, right, and also help in terms of the product selection reference, right? Because it's on a brand level, so everything that you sell under the brand will be able to surface out in this report. Or some frequently question I always get, you might see there are no data, right? So if that's the case, in that range, you might not have sufficient data for it to show. So you might want to try to change the date to a longer time frame. All right. So in terms of the repeat purchase, all right, there might be again insufficient data. Right, you might want to change the date, right? So this is just so in mind that the data won't be too few that you are able to identify like certain group of sellers. So it's meant to be aggregated, and in order to be aggregated, you need to have sufficient amount of the data available to show up, right? Which is why usually newer seller likely will not have the data show up due to it's very new unless they have a very good volume of sales across the time period, then the data will be available. All right, same for the rest. And then particularly for demographic report for the US store, where you need to have at least about 100 or more unique customers, products within a set period. All right. All right, so if you have any question regarding this, do let me know in the Q&A box. All right, I'm going to jump on to the next part of it. So when you are listing a new product, let's say you're going to plan to launch a new product during the Prime Day. So what are the things that you might want to be concerned of? Right, and then that is review. So data shows that 90% of customers do read customer reviews and actually make their purchasing decisions based on those reviews. So you and I are definitely customers of a lot of other online sales platform. We definitely look at the customer reviews, right? So you can see how important it is to have customers reviews, especially for your new products. Right, so this is some of the concerns. You might be concerned of the quality of the product reviews, as well as you have very few product reviews. So this is where Amazon buying comes in, right? So I will share a little bit on this because I think a lot of sellers initially do not know about Amazon buying, right? Largely due to the higher cost last year. All right, so when I started selling, I'm not aware that I can actually use Amazon Buy as well. It's not something that newer seller will think of it. But as you are, going along, you get to know that this actually is very useful for introducing a new product, or even if you have something you've just started out. Right. So in summary, I'm just going to share that Amazon Buy is more like a review kind of program where you offer your product to these reviewers. We call it Buy Voices, and they can get your product for free, and then they'll do a review for you. Right. So they have a very strict criteria and selection to select all these Buy Voices. Right. So they need to have like very good past records of providing good quality reviews before they are being invited to join the Amazon Voices program. So again, these are the requirements, right? You need to be a brand owner, right? And then under the professional seller, which is the professional selling account, right? And then some other requirement as well. Your product that you want to take advantage of this Amazon buying needs to be fulfilled via FBA, right? Fewer than 30 reviews, etc. Right, and it must be the eligible one. So they are typically non-eligible one will be things like the adult products, right? And like, apps, that kind of stuff. But most of the product will be eligible for Amazon Prime, so long that your product are shipped and fulfilled via FBA. But as I mentioned, the importance of having good reviews, and of course the benefit of using Buy, you get trusted review, right? And that in turns help to get increased traffics, and hopefully also get more conversion as well. Also get to know your customer better because the Vine voices, they are the ones, they are actually your real customer as well, right? So they will provide you real comments, right? Real reviews, I would say, right? And then again, they are not actually getting or should I say, they are not supposed to just only give good reviews, all right? So you want to be sure that your product is really on the good quality before you actually enroll in this program, because just in case it might backfire, all right? So how it solved the pain point of sellers like us, right? This is actually what I shared earlier on already. We will not go through too much, all right? Essentially is to help you get new, or rather get reviews for new product launch, right? And then to improve the quality of reviews. Okay, you can take a look at this example. Which kind of review would you rather have for your product? The one on top and the one below. But although both actually gave 5 stars, you can see the one on top is just saying like, 5 star, good, right? And then compared to the one below, you can see there will be a disclaimer at the at the review that says this is a buying customer review, all right, of free product. All right, so you can see that they gave a 5 star, and also they gave good reviews on how they use your product, etc., and how useful it is, etc. So it makes the review look more legitimate, improve the quality of your listing, right? So for new product reviews, this one will help a lot as well, Amazon Buying, right? When you launch your new product, right? Those Buying reviewers will also provide images and even videos of the reviews as well, right? And typically these quality reviews will also be displayed before other reviews. So if you are shopping at Amazon, you also tend to see that when you look at reviews of product, those with images, those with videos tends to be the reviews that is usually shown on top, rather than those with just plain short text without any further elaboration. Yeah. So to find out, if you have a lot of things or a lot of products in your category, right, you may want to think of which products that you want to enroll in this Amazon Buy. So you can actually use the search catalog performance report to actually find it. All right, this is one of the tool I shared earlier on under the Amazon brand analytics. Yep. Right, you can also use the other tools available to help you search for high potential product that can enroll in buying, right? And at the same time, you can also use MYE, which I will share later, manage your experience tool to select the improved listing version that has better traffic and conversion to actually use that to enroll in the Amazon buying as well, right? So this just gives you some ideas on which products that you think should take advantage of this Amazon buying. Then again, if you do not have a lot of catalog for now, it's will be much easier for you to choose. So next, I'm going to share how you sign up, and also there are some limitation, which is why you need to choose the product that you want to enroll. It's not like every single product you can enroll in it, and then there is a limitation which I'm going to share now. Right, to go into it is pretty straightforward. You just go to under advertising, you can look up buying in South Central, or you just search in the search bar by that works as well. All right. So yeah, this is too much of the info, but all this information will be shared in the page as well in terms of where you can find it. All right. I think the most important detail is the next one that I want to share, which is the regarding the fee. All right. Okay, this is the one. Yes. So there is a fee to use Vine, but this I think last year October onwards, right, the fee is become more accessible, right? So before October 18 last year, right, there is a fixed fee of $200 to enroll into the buy and enjoy the benefits of it. Right, but since last year, October 19 onward, there is a different tier for the buy enrollment fee. Right, and also if you are the new seller, you will be able to use your new seller incentive benefits where you get $200 buying credits to actually offset this cost. Okay, you can see so the maximum number of units available to be ordered by wine reviewer is minimum one up to maximum 30. Right, and that is because um, the maximum unit that you can enroll into buying per ASIN, per parent ASIN is up to 30. All right. So 7 days after the publication date of your first wine review, you'll be charged. Right, so the fee is as follow. Right now, obviously, it means that if ultimately there are no reviews that you get because for some reason, because the reviewers may not, give a reviews ultimately, right? But then again, rest assured that, for reviewers who consistently don't actually provide review, they will be out of these Y Voices programs in the long run, right? So more often than not, they will have to provide the reviews, all right? But, back to this point, let's say if when the program ends, you run out of the units, etc., or if there's no review, you won't be charged. All right. So the fees is stated here. Everything is in USD. All right. So unit 1 to 2 enroll, meaning that, for example, your parent ASIN, you enrolled 2 units. All right. Meaning that you actually park like 2 units that the buy voices can get it for free. Though for them to do their review, so there won't be any fee. So even if they give 2 reviews, after receiving your products, you won't be charged any fee, right? So if you enroll 3 to 10 units, right? So like what the time of charge here mentioned, so 7 days after the first reviews goes out, you'll be charged $75, right? And then the next is 11 to 30, right? This is the maximum for each ASIN. All right, and there's a limit to enjoy this Amazon Buy program. A maximum of 20 units you can enroll. All right, so this is not like a forever review program thing that you can keep using it. Right, at most it's only 200 for every seller. Right, so you can roughly divide like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. If you were to take advantage of using up to 30 for every of your new ASIN, you can maximum use it for only six of your products, six-ish plus of your products, and then you will exit the maximum of 200 units, right? And also you need to think, this is something that I myself experienced, that you need to think of how many units you want to enroll right at the start, because there's no way for you to edit. All right, so there's no way for you to, okay, you just think you want to try it first, you enroll 2 units. Right after that, you got a review already, and you think that, oh, actually, it's not bad, huh? I want to increase to 30. That's not going to work. You won't be able to edit anymore going forward, right? For the same parent ASIN, right? You won't be able to re-enroll it anymore. You can re-enroll it once. So you want to think hard first, how many units, all right, that you want to enroll in, because you can't make changes after that. Right, so the fee example is just to tell you how is it being charged, how many days after that the seller will be charged, etc. So you can yeah, you can read through it. Right, some frequently asked question I get, like, why were my units not reviewed? Right, so like what we mentioned here, there isn't a deadline for my voices to write, you know. However, there will be emails sending to them to get the voices, the wine reviewer who actually claim the product already, to write a review in a timely manner. They are also being tracked in their participation. right? So they will be removed from this program if they don't adhere um, to the participation criteria. All right. Next one is, can you contact reviewer who left negative review? Unfortunately, as per the terms and conditions, you are not able to contact any of these by voices. All right. So, which is why I say that, make sure that your product is of a good quality. Don't treat it as like a program to buy review regardless of the quality of your products. All right. So it's not intended to be that way. Right, so if let's say really have a negative review, then I think the best move is really to see how you can improve it, or how you can improve your product to prevent such negative review that is the truth of the review. Yep. So, and also, can you remove it? So if you see that, oh, that's a negative review and you want to remove it, unfortunately, if it's within the community guideline of the review, Amazon will not help to remove it, unless if the review is found to be against the company guideline, etc., then it will be removed. Okay, if let's say you have spare unit left after that, there's no impact, it will be still be available inventory for your FBA, for your existing inventory. There's no impact, let's say, if your units enrolled are not used up. Okay. All right, the last very useful tool I want to share with you is manage your experience. Now, again, all these tools are the tools that you can still leverage before the big Prime Day. So you should take advantage of it if you can. All right, MYE, manage your experience. All right, for those of you who are very data centric focused, you want to use data driven to experiments to drive your sales, you can use these. All right, in short, it means that you'll be able to create two different versions of your listing. Right, there are many things you can test, such as the title, bullet points, main image, A plus content, product description. Right, and this tool is actually free for all brand owners. Right, so when we always say keep optimizing your listing, etc., essentially this is actually a very good way to keep optimizing your listing. Right, so you do not have to rely on purely your gut feel. Right, you test it and let the real user, your real customers, and also ultimately the end result to guide you on whether or not your listing is considered optimized by looking at the conversions. Right. All right, so again, the eligibility, you need to be a brand owner, you need to own a brand as well as you're selling in one of the store, which I believe most of you are selling in the US store. So how to create it? If I'm not wrong, the menu did not change much. You can go to look for under brands and you can see the managed experience, or you can just search for it. Right. All right, so I try this is before, it's actually pretty straightforward. All right, to start, right, you can follow through the step-by-step guide. Essentially, you will on the top right corner, you will choose what kind of experiment you want to experiment. Do you want to test the A plus content, bullet points, in main images, product description, or even product title? Right? Choose one of it. So assuming in this example you want to test the product title, you'll be brought to this page, which is the product you want to test, the ASIN or the product name. You can search on top, and then over there you will see the option to let you create your new, so-called your new title, right? And then you put in the start of end date that you want to run the experiment, right? There's even an option for you to look at what are the best practices. All right, so as a recommendation, for this kind of test, and again, it also depends on how much traffic that you might get from your listing as well, right? So it can run from at least 4 to 10 weeks, all right? But as a best practice, we do recommend you to run the experiment for about 8 to 10 weeks. Right. So in the page, you can see the different version. Version A, yeah, is the one that you're currently in use, and version B, the one that you want to test it on. So when you think everything is okay, then you click on the top right corner to schedule your experiment, and then it will start. Okay, to address some common misconceptions, things like, when is conducting an experiment useful, etc., how effective it is, right? The common conception is that misconception is that, if my ASIN is performing well, why do I need to improve, or it doesn't need to have any improvement, right? So, by running the experiments, you can minimize the risk of your async variance, where let's say you wouldn't know whether or not you can even improve it further, right, by making certain changes, right? You don't have to wait, until you see there's a drastic drop, then you start to optimize, then it might be too late, right? Then even so, if your async you think that it's already better, you can even make it even better, right? Rather than waiting for it, right? And then some tips as well that you can use when you're creating your A/B version of the content. Right, you can see the cycle. This is a cycle that you want to try to adopt to keep monitoring and optimizing your listing. Right, and then some more tips as well you can look at, all right, to determine which one you want to optimize. All right, let's say the tools I mentioned earlier on, like the Amazon Brand Analytics, using the search catalog performance, you can look at how the impression and click-through rate compares. Right, if you see there is a rising of impression, but the click-through rate is falling, you might want to use the manage your experience feature to test out things like the product title, the entry point that will drive clicks to your product detail page. Those are the things that you should look for to test it. All right. So some things like the product title, right? This one you will have some short-term effects, like what it says, right? And then doing this is actually the least expensive action that you can do, and you can still do now before the Prime Day. All right. So this is important because it will affect the visibility of your product during the searches. All right. So having a good product title is very important, and that is something that you want to perhaps start to action on it after the webinar. Right. The other things that will have a long-lasting effect are things like main image and A plus content. Where you can see these are just two different variants, the version of the A plus listing content. Right, and of course this one takes more effort. If you're not the graphic designer, artwork, you know, designer, etc., you might need to engage somebody to do it for you. And even if you're the one, it takes time to design the artwork, getting your product images, etc., properly in time. All right, so once you're done, you go back to the same page, you can actually see the result. Right. So as an ongoing basis, the result are updated on the weekly basis while your test is still being run. All right. The right, this image is just to show how it typically looks like for the test result, the experiment test result when it's completed, where it will give you the data result and then show you how many unique visitors, etc., and how many units were sold. All right. So let's say if you agree with the result, you can just click publish. All right. There's a button on top, so it makes it easy for you if you look at the result, and by looking at the result, you agree that, oh, yeah, version B is definitely a better version that helps you bring in more unit sales, etc. Then you can click publish, and the new versions will be the final version. Right, some common questions on this. All right. So you may see that, okay, why you can't run experiment on certain of your ASIN. So there are some conditions as well, right? You need to have certain amount of traffic. So, to make it easy for you, you can just go in and, search for your ASIN, right? If it's eligible, it will be there for you to run the experiment, all right? If not, there's a reason. If there's insufficient traffic, there's actually no point to run the experiment. The result won't be conclusive. Right. So you can also run experiment for just your child item, right, without impacting your parent product. Right. So there are times that you might not still see data after several weeks due to the insufficient data that is available to finish and complete the test. All right. So again, best recommendation is to have the experiment run for at least 8 to 10 weeks. Right. And last but not least, using MYE will not have an impact on the listing ranking. All right. Okay, that's the end of these three very important brand building features that I want to share with you and that you can still do before the big Prime Day. So I'm going to share with you some important dates for those of you who may not have joined some of the previous Prime Day related webinar. Right, some key dates here. All right, so if you're intending to participate in the Prime exclusive discount promotion during the Prime Day, do note that the window is open now. You can go into your Seller Central to submit the Prime exclusive discount for your products that you want to do promotion during the Prime Day. Remember to select the checkbox, right? And then of course the requirements will be stated on the right side as well when you do it. It will tell you what's your pricing requirement, etc. Next important thing is the cut-off date. All right. So I hope that most of you would have already start to ship in your product if you're going by the sea. All right. If you're going by air, I believe there would still be sufficient time, but most seller would try to go by the sea because of the cost is, way cost effective to go by sea if you manage to plan earlier. Right. So the inbound cutoff date is 20th June 2024. Okay, meaning that your stock must reach by 20th June in order for it to be available for sale during the Prime Day. Alright, this is to give sufficient time for your product to be checked into the fulfillment center. Right, to make sure you're aware of the cutoff date. Alright. If not, you might miss the opportunity, for the big day. If it's check-in a few days later, your product might not be available for sale on time during the Prime Day. So we have the Prime Day microsite that's already live. You can scan the QR code if you are interested to find out more. There are some more information there regarding Prime Day, and also the scheduling guide is basically telling you how you can schedule your promotions, right? But generally, if you go to your Seller Central account, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah. All right, I'm going to share some SU Seller University resources. There is a new guide regarding Amazon branding operation model, right? You might find it useful. You can scan the QR code, right? There is actually more than 30 over brand tools available for brand owners if you're not aware. And then this guide inside will give you the overview and introduction of the tools that's available for all the brand owners. Okay, last but not least, we still have some other webinars coming up on the last 2 weeks, right, regarding account health, and also the final checklist before Prime Day, as well as the ads webinar. Right, so next week we do have some in-person ads event, right? If you are coming into our office in Singapore, do say hi. I'll be there as well. So do register if you have not registered for the in-person event, the ads week next week in our office in Singapore.